Hey y'all, we're gonna try something totally new today. Went out to Costco, got me a beef tri-tip that's already been marinated and they put their seasonings on it. All I'm gonna do is cook it. Is it cheating? You decide. So I was at Costco the other day and I picked up this. Let me show you what we got here. I got from American Barbecue Company. I got a classic steakhouse beef tri-tip, and hey, you know what? It's pre-packaged. It was pre-marinated. It was pre-seasoned, which is all the fun part, really. When we get right down to it, at least for me, I like all that part. I like the prep work that goes into cooking stuff for me and my family. But hey, I'm gonna give this a shot, okay? I'm gonna take a look at it and I'm gonna see how it works out. I'm gonna cook it on my offset. I'm gonna cook it very similar to a reverse sear on a steak. I've done some research. I see a lot of folks that are doing it like a brisket, and some of them cook it for hours and hours, and they cook it exactly like a brisket. This is my first time of doing tri-tip on an offset. It's my first time doing tri-tip at all. And you know, the deal I made with you guys was right from the jump was I was going to do stuff and not hold anything back, show you guys what worked for me, what didn't work for me, and hopefully, you know, maybe save you guys a couple of bucks and save you a wasted afternoon on your cooker. So I'm going to put it on my Old Country Pit barbecue. The Wrangler is the one that I have. I'm going to cook it, like I said, same way I'd cook a steak. I'm going to put it on the smoker. I'm going to get it up to about 120, 125 degrees. Then I'm going to throw it on my kettle underneath the vortex that's going to just supercharge, superheat, and I'm going to put that sear on it. This is the sound sear. This is the sound for sear. I'm going to sear it. So y'all come along. Let's see how a first cook on tri-tip works out. That's the sound of the sear. All right, so this is the part where I would generally be talking about what rub I put on here, what seasonings I put on here, what I use to marinate it overnight, wrap it up, put it in the refrigerator, get ready for the cook tomorrow. But that part was already done. Costco has them already with that taken care of. So yeah, that's part of what I enjoy on the whole process. But we're open to new things here at Crosswire Barbecue, so we're gonna try it this way. Then all I need to do now is get my fire going, which I've already started it. A piece of meat this big, I don't know. I've never done a reverse sear on a piece of beef this big. I'm interested to find out how that's gonna work out. I'm thinking about it now, and since I'm not the only one that's gonna be eating this, I'll probably get it up to about 135 degrees internal temperature, and then do the sear. And I'll show you how I'm going to do that sear here in a little bit. It's going to be on my Weber Kettle using the vortex. Let's go check on that fire. We got a little ways till we get our fire exactly where we want it. If you look right now, we're looking at, where are you? There you are. We're looking at about $1.83. Because again, all I need to do is get this internal temperature to about 135, somewhere in there. That's medium rare. That's this one, if you remember that trick. Hey, how many of y'all have scars from grilling? Yeah, like I said, this is my first offset, so I'd say probably about 30 days or so into owning it. Seared my arm. I take it as a badge of courage. I don't know if any of y'all got those badges as well. Some of y'all probably saying it's a badge of stupidity. But hey, there we go. Cooking scars, smoking scars, offset scars. Chicks dig scars. So, you know, hey, my wife, she's a lucky girl. This right here is showing that it's just a little over 200, but when I look at this, it shows it's just a little under 200. So, you know, I kind of have to, that probe is, let me show you. Okay, that smoke's pretty dark right now. I need to let that wood burn some more anyway. That probe is all the way back in this back corner, as far from the fire as it could get. And that's where I keep that probe. And then, so that's the probe that goes on my thermopro temperature gauge. And then of course this one is dead set right in the center, up above a little bit. So it kind of gives you a median temperature, somewhere between the highest and the lowest is, you know, my theory on that. So anyway, opened it up, dropped it back down under 190. Gotta let it keep going. Again, my smoke, that smoke's pretty dirty right now. I've got these drinks back here opened all the way up. I'm gonna go ahead and open that one all the way up. I would not want to cook on that smoke right now. That's not pretty smoke. That's not what you want. You want real light, white, blue smoke. And what I'm cooking with is pecan, straight pecan today. For any of y'all that have been watching, that's my preferred wood to cook with, whether it's beef or not. Although if I can get peach, I really want to cook some pork butt using peach. That's for another day. Gonna put that tri-tip on the smoker. Gonna get it up to about 130, 135 degrees. If it was just for me, it'd be about 125 to 130. But for everybody, it's gonna be a little bit more than that. Right here for me, right here for everybody else. Me, everybody else, me. So we're gonna go here. I'm gonna let this smoke settle down. It's getting better. It'll get better. If I'll stop doing that, it would get better sooner. Oh, for the sear, I got something special for the sear. I'll share that with you in a little bit. So maybe I ought to call this section Upon Further Review. Here's why. I told y'all I was going to show you something different on searing that tri-tip. Well, my plan was to use this pinon wood because I'm originally from New Mexico, and this is kind of a New Mexico thing, and I thought, hey man, that'll be pretty cool. But then, where is it? Right there. Not intended for cooking. Put it in your chimney, put it in your campfire, put it in your fire pit. Don't put it in your belly. So I've been saving that all winter for a cook, and I was kind of waiting for the right cook, and I was like, okay, today's the day. Yeah, today ain't today. And now that I've determined that I can't use what I needed to, or what I wanted to, I should say, for fuel for the searing of the steak, I'm gonna have to cut up some chunks and get that ready, because recently I made the decision to stop using briquettes. I burned up my last bag, and I'm not buying another bag. I will use lump charcoal. The little bit of research that I've done, lump charcoal is significantly different than the briquettes. And I won't go into all the reasons why. You guys can make your own decision on what you want to do. But I'm going to get to the point to where all I cook with is lump charcoal a little bit and wood a lot. That's it. That's all I'm going to use. It's more natural. I think it's going to give me better flavor on anything that I cook. And I just like the idea of getting away from having anything in this or in my grill, my kettle, over here, there it is, or in my kettle, that's not 100% natural. That just that pleases me. That pleases me. My mentor, my hero, Cowboy Kent Rollins, I gotta find a way to let him know how much I talk about him. I dig watching his cooks. Man, if I lived out on acreage like he did, I would be just throwing chunks of coal on the ground, putting my stand up and my Dutch oven on top of that and cooking all that way instead of doing it inside a fire pit. I'm telling you, he's the real deal. I just have a few hats. He's for real. But anyway, he was one of the big reasons why I decided to quit using the little preformed briquettes. Y'all make your own decision. There's no right, there's no wrong. It's just what works for you and y'all. Good Lord, let's wait for that dog to quit yelling over there, all right? Now my dog's gonna yell at that dog, and that dog's gonna yell at my dog, and it's just gonna be a friggin' rodeo out here. A dog rodeo. Nope. All right, forever since we started, we're about to put some meat on the smoker. Oh. Boom, right here. This is as ready as it gets, y'all. Hang with me, kids. We're about to get this going. Okay. You can't hear it, but there was a sizzle. Just past 1:30. And I'm finally getting that on there. When I started my fire, like I said, it was a little after 11. Hey, let me show you something else real quick. I use this flat top right here, heating up beans, barbecue sauce. I cooked sausage on it one time that I put in some queso. So let me show you another good use for it. Take a stick that you think you're gonna be putting in there, set it right on top of there. If your firebox was bigger, then you could just set it off to the side. My firebox, not really big enough to do that. So here's what I'm learning, is if you heat that wood up somehow, if your firebox is big enough and you can just go ahead and set it off to the side, have your fire over here, stick you a piece of wood over here to the side, do that. Get that wood heated up a little bit. Like I said, I'm using the flat top on there. Just set it on there, just get it heated up a little bit. Then when you throw it on the hot coals, your combustion is so much faster, your smoke is so much cleaner, and there's just not that warm-up time. It's just a little hack, a little wood hack for all my friends out there. Cowboy Kent Rollins, shocker, another life hack from Kent Rollins. If you're not following him, I mean, I can't imagine anybody who sees anything of mine that isn't somebody that's been following him for years and years and years. He's got over 1 million followers, and I think last count I had like not 1 million. So yeah, keep following Cowboy Kent, but hey, follow me too, and you know, all right, look, hit that like button on there. If you want to subscribe to this, do a subscription to this, but hit that like button if indeed you do, because that helps me get out to a few more people. And quite frankly, I would dig that. Man, I was having all kinds of issues controlling my fire. My fire management was horrific. It was horrible. It was awful. It was rookie status, and I could not figure out why. And then all of a sudden, looking at that flag right there, it was so obvious. Anybody else would have figured it out like that, but I didn't. So what was happening is that direction right there is west. I don't usually get wind out of the west, but there is my firebox pointing due west. One of the reasons why I set it up pointing that way was because I just don't get a whole heck of a lot of direct wind out of the west. I get out of the southwest, And every once in a while, when things are about to get pretty western around here, we'll get winds out of the east or out of the northeast, and that's when you start hearing the sirens generally. And like I said, that's when it's starting to get pretty interesting around here. So anyway, here was my solution. I wish I would have had a better solution, but I didn't. I took my kettle and I just parked it right in front of the firebox. Hey, gotta do what you gotta do, right? So anyway, that and a combination of the wind dying down just a little bit, it is 1:30. Dude, I started this project at 11:11 because I made a wish at 11:11. And here I am, 1:30, and I ain't even put that meat on the grill yet, on the smoker yet, because I was having so many issues with my fire management. Hey, one of my grilling buddies right there, little Pearly. Here, let me show you. Here's the other one. There he is, my other grilling buddy. That's Bo. I want to see pictures of y'all's grilling buddies. I really do. Show me who hangs out with you whenever you're grilling. Don't judge my yard. Judge it. I don't care. So anyway, I about got my fire set up the way I want it, and I'm about to throw that meat on there almost 2.5 hours after I started. Good Lord, I've never had this much trouble with setting a fire. Anyway, here we go. Talk to you in a minute. It has been right at an hour since I put that tri-tip on the smoker, and I have been cooking it between 300 and 325, and the internal temperature after right at an hour is at 126. So here's what we're going by right here. We're actually going by what we always go by, but I'll show you something that my wife got me that's pretty cool. All right here. Medium rare, 130 to 135. Like I said, if it was up to me and it was just for me, I'd have probably already pulled it, because at 126, I'm looking about where I want to look at. We're going to let it get on up to that medium rare section, 130, 135, just a little bit longer. Let me show you what we're looking at. I shouldn't pull this up, but I'm gonna. That, my friends, is after an hour of being on the smoker at about 300 to 315, 320. That's about where it's been landing the whole time. So speaking of things that I haven't done before, here's something that's going to be somewhat new. Okay, sorry for all that jostling around. We've got all these real good coals right here. So I'm digging those up, and I'm putting them right inside that vortex. If you have a Weber Kettle, get you a vortex. Just don't even think about it, just get it. I said I was going to have to cut up some chunks, but I found a bag of chunks. So, let's see, right here, we're going to put those right on top of there. And we're going to put some more right on top of there. And we're going to put another one or two right on top of those coals. And I think we got room for one or two more right on top of those hot coals. Okay? Then we're going to put our grate on top of that, put our lid on top of that, and let that build us up a big, heavy, hot heat. And that's what we're going to use to sear the tri-tip with. Stick around, it's going to get interesting. All right, not for nothing, but here we go. We're going to take it off of that one right there, and we're going to put it on this one right here. It's been smoking, it's getting seared. Smoking, seared. Let's do this. Feel pretty okay about it. Time will tell. And time's dang near up. All right, this is my first tri-tip. I took it off the smoker. I put it on the kettle, and I did a sear, and just to kind of lock everything in. Then I let it sit right here on this cutting board. I didn't wrap it. I didn't put it in a cooler. I didn't do any of that. This is just sitting right here. And now I'm just slicing it up. Let me do this right here, just so I can get a thick spot. This is so tender. Let's see right here what we got. I hope you can see that. That's what we got right there. Get a piece right there. So that's what we're looking at. Not too shabby. Pretty happy with the way that came out. And again, I see other people cooking them like brisket. I cooked it a lot more like a steak. But that's gonna work out. So there it is. That's my tri-tip on an offset and finished off on a Weber Kettle. And I hope you got something out of it. I sure did. Like the way it turned out, and I'm happy with it, and I will definitely do it again. So in conclusion, yeah, tri-tip, that's gonna become part of the regular menu. Did chuck roast here. We started doing those a little bit, and that worked out real good for us, and we're definitely gonna keep those going. Don't get me wrong, like I've said before, I'm not gonna stop doing briskets. Everybody around here does briskets. It's Texas, and that's what we do. But tri-tip, that's a good way to go as well. I'm sure there's a few other things that we're gonna learn going along the way. I said this before, and this is the key right here. It's because of this channel and because of y'all, the folks that out there that spend a minute or two watching these, that gets me to where I'm looking for something new and original and unique possibly to do. Short of wild game, I know it's not that unique and unusual and original for some of y'all, but for me it is. And hopefully for some of y'all it's helpful as well. That's all I can ask for, is that what I do actually ends up helping somebody out there. Maybe saves you a buck or two, maybe saves you some time, maybe gives you a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe gives you a little bit of an idea of something different or original that you'd like to do that you hadn't thought of before. Again, I always do appreciate you guys for spending some time watching this. I said it last time and I got a kick out of it. For everybody out there that's watched for, you know, a minute or two after you're already bored, but you kept it on and you kept it running, those are the folks, man, I appreciate y'all a bunch. Hey, for those of y'all that do enjoy it and watch all the way through, man, do I appreciate you all. Thanks again. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want. Otherwise, you know, be good to each other and keep on smoking.